So one thing I want to make sure of, that I don't get in a pattern. And if that horse, if I'm constantly, sometimes I see a lot of people and they're getting in close all the time. And then that confinement can get horses a little crabby. When I send them out, I want them to go out to the end of it. But if I don't shift them, I don't want to be so in a habit of going to the next step that I'm always doing hindquarters, front quarters, forward in another circle. If I do the hind, pretty soon they start getting short with their front feet and losing energy. Keep that life in there. And there's a difference. Sometimes we get picky and we want the groundwork to be too perfect. I just need a change there, but I need them to listen. So when I push that hind out there, I want to maintain that bubble. I need just a little more hind there, and then I release and push. Need a little more hind there. I release and I push. Don't walk forward. Release and push. Release and push. I want them to go into a flow. And when I'm ready, I'll step to my right here and bring the front. There's a little brace in the head. But it doesn't have to be good today, but I'd like to get that a little smoother. Same thing, when I slide down, I push on that eye. I'm pushing my horse out of my bubble. But I want him to stay forward there. When I'm ready, I shift off to my left. When it's smooth, same thing as the hind, I might work on getting a couple steps. If they get forward, I'll rock back. There's one, rock back. Till you get light. Release. Rock back. I start over. Release. Rock back. There you started off light. There's a good step. Good. And I'll allow that distance so that they get some relief. And when I'm ready, I want my horse to wait on me before I ask to go forward. Now, sometimes they'll get to anticipating just to change hands to start rolling the hind, and I don't want that. I don't want that horse to anticipate. Change. Good. Roll the hind. I get short, but I push on that eye. I want my horse to stay out of my bubble. A little more hind. There you go. Lateral in a circle. Now there's the brace. So I'm going to re-round the body. There. And I'll try to bring that front while it's round there. That stayed a little smoother. I don't want it to brace. Now sometimes if we go to bring that front and we're too straight, I got to be at a little more angle. But if that hind moves, my angle changes. I'm off at this angle so that there's room for that front foot to come through there. Not quite out of my bubble. There, now it's out of my bubble so that it can round back to the left. And there's a space for the front end to roll through to the left. And I want them to land into a release, into peace before I have the next exercise. If we always just go hindquarters, then front quarters, hindquarters, then front quarters, when you shift them back, it can be a little bit like saying, hey, you're too far forward, come back. So there's a release for the hind and a peace for the hind. That's the float I want to carry them to. And then there's a release and a float for the front. I don't just get the move and pull them forward, or pretty soon they start getting heavy on the forehand. And then I got to bump them in the head. Bump them with my lead rope to re-get them back, because I've encouraged them to get forward all the time by going into that forward circle. questions, send me an email or put them in the comments below. Yeah, it's about balance. My friend once said, once I get a change though, I don't like to do groundwork. It wears my shoes out. I have to do enough to get a change. But as soon as I can, I just as soon go on to something else. I can always come back to it later on in the day. Maybe at the end of a ride, do just a little bit. But it can get a little monotonous no matter what you're doing. I like kind of cross